Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Saturday. It is the 20th of July 2024. Gonna look at stakes action from the spa, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for racecourses around the world, and I mean it, around the world. Remember to go check out my Del Mar opening day preview, also my Haskell preview from Monmouth, an excellent card on both sides of the coast here today, here in the States, and also here at Saratoga. You have some great racing. The 2-year-old races at the beginning of this card are incredible. You might see some stakes horses come out of those races, but we're going to look at the stakes races here, races 10 and 11. So let's get to it right now. The 10th race from Saratoga, it's the Lake George Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a $175,000 purse, race for 3-year-old fillies. Field of 13 horses entered, 11, 12, 13 are AEs. 10 will head to the inner turf course. The distance of ground is 1,600 meters or a mile on the inner turf course. Gonna take a shot with the 4-horse Vivu as a top selection. 4-2-6-8 for me in the superfecta. 4-2-6-8 super. Top selection of 4-horse Vivu. 3-year-old filly by Collected here. Jack Sisterson trains this one. Ramon Vasquez gets the mount. The horse's most recent appearance came in the Grade 2 Wonder again in Aqueduct, a mile and 1/8 on the 27th of May. And the horse finished third by a length that day. And this horse was just wide. Really gained a lot that day. Just missed, but he ran her heart out. Cutting back to a mile with a stronger pace in front. The center turf course does play towards speed, but at times it can play towards a closer. I think you have enough forwardly pace to get to get a closer home, and I think this horse could do it here today. She showed potential to really run good races, and I think she's sitting on that good run here today. 2-back Trent at Goldstream on the 30th of March, 7.5 in the Sanibel Island Stakes. She won by 3/4 of length that day. And basically from a tracking trip, she sat back early. She moved her way to the front end. She quickened up nicely, and she upside 16.5 to 1. That was a very good, strong run that day. And then the main race at Goldstream, 1 mile, 11th of February, went by ahead that day, closing up from nowhere. She really got the job done closing up that day. An all-around good race. And then her North America debut at Goldstream, mile 70 in the Tapeta on main special weight. She finished third by 2 lengths that day. She had to lead in the lane. She just kind of got overtaken late. Maybe the first time around 2 turns really got to her, but she ran her heart out for the debut. She's really improved with every single race. She's training quite nicely here at Saratoga on the Oklahoma training turf. At 8 to 1, I'm going to give her a shot here with these horses. I think the second likeliest winner is a 2-horse, oversubscribed for Chad Brown and Joel Rosario. Most recently in the Wild Applause about a month ago at Aqueduct, a mile 22nd of June. The horse went by 3/4 length that day, or 3 1/4 lengths, and she was just a little bit wide, but closed up from nowhere. Strong turn of foot late, a 91 buyer. That was a good race. Back to a mile trip, drawn very well, getting Rosario up, who's a very good finishing rider. I think this horse could really get a trip to win. 5th of May was the previous race at Aqueduct, mile 16th and optional 80, and the horse finished second by 2 1/4 lengths. Another very wide trip. The horse didn't break so well, had to check a few times around the far turn. She moved a little bit late, but she needed a better trip to get first to the winner's circle that day. And then a Tampa on debut, 10th of February, mile 16th in main special weight. Went by a half length. Another very wide trip. She got the job done going away. If you look at all her races, she's been 7 of 7, 7 of 7, 9 of 9. So today she gets 2 of 10 post-yard, which is very good for her. She's training quite nicely at Belmont on the training track, half mile 49 and 4, and a half mile 50 flat. Refreshing here. She's bred for the mile through and through with Too Darn Hot. At 5-2, she's a very likely winner also. We'll use her here on the ticket. But to recount my selection for the 10th from Saratoga, it's the Grade 3 Lake George. Going to take the 4-horse Vivu. Give kudos to the 2-horse oversubscribed. 4-2-6-8 super. 4-2 in the multi-race. Let's get to the featured 11th race from Saratoga. The 11th race from the spa, it is the Coaching Club American Oaks. It's a Grade 1 event going for a $500,000 purse, race for 3-year-old fillies. 5 horses are taking a stroll around the main track, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, or a mile and 1/8 on the main track. I'm going to take the 3-horse Torpedo Anna as a top selection. 3-4-1-5 in the superfecta. 3-4-1-5 super. Top selection of 3-horse Torpedo Anna. This 3-year-old filly by Fast Anna. Kenneth McPeak trains. Brian Hernandez Jr. hopefully gets the mount on this one. I know he was stuck in Kentucky on Friday, so he couldn't make his Friday mounts at Saratoga, but hopefully he makes it today. But Torpedo Anna, she's been pretty perfect this year. She's probably been the best 3-year-old in the country. Most recently the Acorn over the mile and 1/8 here at Saratoga. She had a wide trip, but wide post trip, but it didn't really matter because she won by 5 1/4 lengths, and that's with her losing a shoe that day. She sat back early. She got to the front end, and she took home clear. Major run that day. Refreshing here. not the world's deepest coaching club. She'll be forwardly paced. She's training well since the last race. I think she's sitting on another very good run. She ran 2 back in the Kentucky Oaks at Churchill, mile and 8th on the slab, and they changed the tactics that day. She's not a horse before that was setting paces. She usually came from a little bit behind, but that day Brian Hernandez sent her to the front end, and that was the winning ride. She basically won in a trot that day at 4.5, at 9-2 that day. That was a great run and a great victory with the 96 Spire. Finally, with a good poster. She's another horse that always gets horrible post draws. She finally got 4:14, and she freaked that day. Prior to that, 10 of 10 in the Oaklawn Fantasy over the mile 16th. Unique good post draws at Oaklawn going 2 turns, especially mile 16th. She didn't have that, but she still freaked that day. From the outside, she left to get good position where she stalked all the way around the race course. She got to the front end, and then she flew home clear, winning by 4 lengths off the bench. A very good race for her that day. And then the golden ride off a quick turnaround at Churchill over the mile 16th. She finished second by 5.25 lengths that day. She just kind of stalked. She didn't break so well, and I just thought, she had a little bit too many races back to back in the fall. I think you just saw a little bit of a tired horse that day. Prior to that, over the optional 100 at Churchill over the 1-turn mile, she won by 9 lengths and freaked that day, and broke her main by nearly 9 from a wide trip at Keeneland before that. Training well since the Acorn. Refreshing here, she's a very likely winner. If there's a horse that could slightly upset, it could be the 4-horse Leslie's Rose. I did try picking against Torpedo Anna and the Acorn with this one. She ran a massive place that day, but she just couldn't get there. This horse was just a little bit wide that day. Prior to that, in the Kentucky Oaks, she just had a very wide trip, which cost her. And then she won the Ashland quite nicely. And I thought the Devona Dale, she's not a 1-turn horse, but she got around the race course well. Another horse back around 2 turns at a mile 16th, mile and 8th. It wouldn't surprise me. I'll use her in the double here with race number 10, but I think Torpedo Anna is a very likely winner, but it's a very good coaching club. Coaching club always has small fields besides the last few years, but it always shows up as a good race, so, I'm looking forward to this one. But to recap my selection for the 11th from Saratoga, it's the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. Going to take the 3-horse Torpedo Anna, give kudos to the 4-horse Leslie's Rose, 3-4-1-5 Super, 3-4 in the multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.